I just end.
Oh, he's already done
I
it.
was going to say I'll just end the call if you offend me.
Yeah, I don't think I could ever offend you. I don't think. Too afraid to be doing stuff like that. Mason the Dragon Jones,
anyway.
Welcome back to the Granite Zero podcast. It's got to be number 4 now. He's back on.
Must be 4 or 5?
It's got to be, mate. It's got to be. It's got to be. It's always a pleasure, mate. It's always a pleasure.
Back more times than the Fast and Furious films. Delay, so I'll have to. We'll have to with that. There's like a second or 2 second delay, so you may be a bit weird. That's me being in the on top of the valleys.
You're on top of the valleys, and I'm in a shed, so we're always going to have some sort of problems. To be fair, we need to schedule one properly face to face
in person.
Yeah. Well, if you're down London way to watch the UFC in London, you'll have to swing by.
Yeah, definitely. I've asked, but I find out tomorrow if I get tickets or not. So we'll wait. Probably not.
Probably not. They're going, what, are you injured? Yeah, well, you ain't coming then, pal.
Cage Warriors don't even include me on any of the posters anymore. I just don't exist anymore.
Do you know what? I think there was something that I think I might have tagged you in it. Like they did like something for all the different champions that are fighting. And I literally just put the disrespect on Mason Jones's name is horrendous. How dare you?
I know. I need to win a few more fights. I've unfollowed them now anyway. I'm not friends with them. No. Fuck them. So I just need to win a few more fights, and then I'm sure I'll be tagged in a few things like McGregor.
Yeah, that's exactly how it is, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it makes sense when it's all about your value and different things. And at the minute, I'm scraping across the bottom, so I need to get some wins.
To be fair, you've had
some wins.
You had a bit of bad luck, really. I think we spoke after the loss.
Sean, we spoke about this before. There's no such thing as bad luck.
Oh, there is.
Only bad decisions.
But all right, yeah, we'll go with that. There was a bad decision. Well, in my opinion, it was a bad decision. The loss was a bad decision. But you've seen it enough times. You're like, well,
I appreciate that.
But obviously the second one, I don't think we spoke about after the second one. I don't think we've done a podcast into the eye plug. Because also
the last one was when I shaved my head in the COVID lockdown.
Yes. Because we definitely did one after the loss because you weren't happy and you could tell you weren't happy. Not a happy Mason. Not in that one. Then there was the eye poke. Now he can fuck off. He was losing that fight anyway.
Suitcases. Mate, well, he fucked me after that, didn't he? Because I was meant to fight him again in June. No, in October. October, I was meant to fight him in, September. October, I was meant to fight him. And 2 weeks before the fight, he pulled out with a cut to his eye. At the same time he pulled out with a cut to his eye, he was putting up Instagram stories and Instagram posts, live Instagram videos, selling suitcases, showing full videos of his face. He was live with no injuries to his eyes at all.
Yeah.
At all.
He just didn't want any of that sauce, mate. He didn't want any of that minor blood. he didn't want none of that.
Yeah, I was going to blind him this time. I was going to make sure I poked him properly in the eye. I was going to blind him
Well, you were poking him in his whole face with your fist. That's why he didn't want it. He was like, nah, fuck that.
The elbows are the worst.
Elbows,
yeah, I split him, and then when we was down, I just literally landed every shot on it. It was just literally like the amount of pain he was in. We knew he was done. It was close to done. And the second round, we started nice and slow, nice controlled, not to rush it because we wanted to make sure that it was clinical. Started applying pressure, and then obviously the slight poke to the eye. And that was when I made a mistake. Not the poke to the eye, because poke to the eyes, it wasn't perfect, it was an accident. But I was the one who stepped back and said, "Oh shit, I'm sorry," when I should just piled into him because he didn't really click on what happened. The ref didn't really see anything. Yeah. It wasn't a major one. Like I did poke him in the eye, but it wasn't bad. And I should have just piled into him and just do you know what I mean? He should have left in the ref's hands like he meant to do.
Yeah. too nice for your own good on that one. Apologising for what was an accident. But that's something that you do, though, isn't it? You make an accident, you say, "Oh, sorry," but he's obviously gone. Ah, I see. Oh, I'm really injured. Not the fact that you just had your head caved in for almost 10 minutes.
What you saying as soon as it happened? What he was saying was, sorry about that delay.
Yeah,
He was saying literally, he was like, it's blurry, I can't see. And the ref said to him, take a couple of minutes and see if it comes back. And he was like, no, blurry, can't see. And when we got back to the medical room, like it was a bang on the walls and chanting and singing. He went home with 37k, I went home with 12. Do you know what I mean? There's a big difference.
That is a big difference as well. And it's fucking madness. But then obviously you avenged the loss and the no contest by getting the first W in the UFC. That was a hard fight to watch as your mucker, mate.
And that win.
That was a struggle to watch.
Hard fight to be in. I just wasn't very well. I had flu. I had an injury to my knee, which since I had surgery on, that was bad. I literally think I thought I popped the rib, but I think I may have fractured my sternum. I need to get scanned because I keep getting pain in my sternum. I had flu, and then obviously, like I said, my knee. So it was just one of them things. Like I went out, I hit him with shots straight off the cuff after obviously a bit of a counter back and forth, rocked him, started to apply pressure, and then not even gassed. Like, I completely emptied out. I had nothing left. And I remember I was taking him down. At one point, I was like, I had like an arm triangle. My coach was just going, squeeze. And after it, he was like, mate, what are you doing? I was like, I just had nothing left. I couldn't even squeeze. I just laid on top of him, holding on to him. I was just that rough, like.
But that sort of shows the mentality that you've got, though, as well. Like, you had injuries, you had fucking an illness, but you still walked away with the W. That just shows the caliber of skills and the level that you're now fighting at as well. It's fucking unreal. Like, most people would have just gone, nah, I've got to drop out. I can't do this. I'm fucking hanging
I should have walked away with a finish, though.
Well, I didn't want to say that, mate, but I would have finished him.
Walked away with a finish, though. That's the thing. It's my opportunity to get it. Didn't capitalize. So it is what it is. Obviously, I don't know. Do you watch any of the Bellator fights?
I watched a few Bellator fights.
To watch you.
I tend to catch them on on the highlights.
Yeah, so do you see the weekends?
I saw the highlights.
Did you see any of the weekends?
Yeah.
Yeah, my one of my main training partners and the boy stay with Team Half Mill, Chris Gonzalez. He had his first fight back after his last loss. That I seen in LA, and obviously somehow I don't know where it come from through a 30-second head kick KO. And literally, I texted him after the fight and said, I did not even know you would get your leg that high. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Amazing knockout. But I genuinely didn't even know you could throw a kick.
Didn't even know you could throw a kick like. Fucking madness.
Not that high. Sorry, my line's really bad. Yeah, not that high. Like, it was clean. He caught him, folded him up, hit him with good shots, and yeah, it was good finish and nice way to get back in the win column for him. That was what I should have done, look. Nice 37 knockout, nor a 15-minute match.
Do you,
fight with
do you
second-degree burns on my knees.
Oh, you know. Is that from the mat? Shit.
Yeah, it's like sandpaper the canvases in the UFC. Really grippy, but shredded my knees. I had second-degree burns. The flight dome was horrendous.
Oh, I bet it fucking was. Shit. Did you fly back in?
So 16 hours with knees bent.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you fly back in style or not, or was it bog standard economy with your knees up by your ears?
And because of the restrictions on travel, we had to fly from Vegas to Chicago and then Chicago back. So it was like 16 hours altogether. It was 10 hours from Chicago, and it was like 3 or 4 hours to Chicago. And then obviously with the other, like all the messing around and like waiting to take off and different things, about 16 hours of traveling.
Fucking hell.
just to get to London and then 4 hours, 2 hours home.
That's probably what did your knee in, mate. The non-leg room is what did your knee in.
Nah, mate, my knee's been knackered for a while. It was one of them things, like, I needed to get it done. And then after the fight, we come back and I had scans. And there was minor damage. Well, there was damage to where I ended up having surgery on, but nothing super bad. Enough that, because I had a blood supply, I could get recovered by physio. And then I went for Sunday lunch, sat down, was eating food, finished my food, went to get up from the table. And as I turned to get up, my knee slipped out. Won't go back in for 6 hours. So I was calling my physio, saying, like, look, I'm going to A&E. And she was like, don't go to A&E because they will damage it, forcing it back in. So I ended up going home, like trying to get it back in, it won't go back in. And in the end, after 6 hours of pain, I got the bath and she said, try the bath. And as I went to push out, it just slipped straight back in. So we went to see my surgeon the Monday after that. And he literally just said, look, we're going to open you up and check. And when they opened me up, they found a big split. So that had to be stitched up, luckily. So it was split, and yeah, I'm back on the mend. 23rd of November, I went under the needle, under the knife, and then back on recovery now. I should be back training pretty soon.
Yeah. So that's a huge in terms of like fighting. Obviously, that's a huge setback, especially knees. Like do your knees in. It's fucking horrendous. Obviously, you need them for everything. Takedowns, fucking jiu-jitsu, judo, kicking, even boxing. You use your legs to fucking throw punches.
Everything. Kicks, punching, boxing, generate from the legs. But no, like, to be fair, I've been quite lucky with it because as long as I recover it well, what I've done is probably the best case scenario for an injury where I did. So I'm quite happy with the end result so far. So I've still got a knee brace on. As you can see, if I get up there. But that comes off
Look at that.
this week now. I know, she drew my head in. But I've just been gradually easing off it more. I actually had to go pick my girlfriend up last night and it was like super early in the morning because she went out. And I got to bed, didn't have my brace on, done the car, drove to pick her up. When I picked her up, she was like, have you not got your brace on? I was like, oh no, I didn't. So Show's been recovering that I didn't notice they'd have it on. So a bit dangerous. My physio's not going to watch this, so at least she won't shout at me. But Show's is healing.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those that, especially with any sort of injury that you're going through physio, you don't want to rush it, but also you sort of start itching to do more. It's like, well, I feel good now, so I'm gonna do it. I had it when I went through my rehab with my ankles. So basically, I had like 0 ligaments in my ankles. When I went for my physio, they were like, how many parachute jumps you done? I was like, I haven't done any. They were like, well, what the fuck have you done to your ankles?
Nothing we can do.
It's like literally, like, my missus finds it hilarious. I'll be walking down the fucking road and I'll just roll my ankle for no reason. And she's like, what the fuck's the matter with you? It's like, oh, don't worry, I'll be all right.
Just pop out.
But I remember just like going through the rehab, doing all the band work.
It up, carry on.
I was fucking bored. I was like, I don't want to do this. This is boring. So I like self fucking diagnosed myself. I was like, I'm better now, so it's fine. Went to the physio. I was like, yeah, I'm all right. Look, I can jump and everything. Stupidest mistake I've ever done, really, because you know I could have got a fucking payout and all sorts with the fucking state of these ankles.
No, my physio is quite good in the aspect that she helps me push, so she doesn't sort of restrain me too much. Like she gives me more exercise to do and sort of helps build me up. And she knows that I can't really be restrained in that thing. So like while I've been off, she's like, go and do the hand bike, like, these exercises, do your S&C coach. This is what you can do. Like do these when you're in free time. And if you're still not too tired, like if you've still got energy, do these until you can't walk. So I've been like smashing out as much as I can, but I've just been putting weight on and got a little bit fat. So Mad likes to wind me up. She's like, I was playing PlayStation earlier against the boys. She's also, I got a bit of free time now, so I've been playing a little bit of PlayStation. Yeah. And I sat against the sofa, the chair playing, and she's just taking photos of me with my gadowed, like, no t-shirt on, you just see my rolls. Which obviously you sat down and see, you're going to have a bit of a roll, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, mate. Well, that's my excuse all the time anyway.
Like, come on, like. disrespect.
My missus, right? She took. I was round one of my pals' house, and we were looking after his kid, and he jumped up and was like, "Give me a hug." So she was like, "Oh, that's a cute one. I'll take a photo of that." She took a photo of it. She sent it to me, and I went, "That doesn't even look like me. That looks like I've eaten myself. What the fuck? I need to go and fucking sort this out." Oh, like, what has happened here? Right, that's it.
It's Christmas, man. You're allowed to look like a bear.
Yeah, exactly. A bit, yeah. Oh, it's all good though. It's all good.
It's winter, man.
I know. I need the
yeah.
you need the padding, mate.
So
wait
till summer.
So what's going on now then? With so obviously you're injured.
Exactly.
Obviously you're injured. You can't be in the gym doing all what you want to be doing, the fucking hard work to get yourself fight ready and all that. Now, those that listen to the show know that you're a bit of an adrenaline junkie. You like parachuting, like things like that.
Yeah.
So what are you doing to keep yourself fucking busy? Apart from playing PlayStation or whatever. Or is it literally just PlayStation and ice cream?
Mate, I less the ice cream, but PlayStation, reading. I've been able to do a couple of walks now, but yeah, I haven't really been able to do anything. I actually I unofficially, because I'm not actually allowed to do it, but I took a couple of cars for a spin this week, so a little bit of stupid shit I got. But yeah, I haven't been able to do anything. Obviously, I can't skydive because my knee. And skydiving at the moment is one of them things. I haven't actually been back in a while, just because of everything that's been going on. And my jump center, they closed, so I needed to find a new jump site and obviously get a refresher. Because it's been like 3 years now since I last jumped, which is crazy. But it's crazy how quick time goes.
It does.
But yeah, it's just like I've been quite boring. I'm not allowed to snowboard. I keep meaning to get a motorbike, and then I've had bills and different things to pay off, and tax and different things, and adult things that are boring.
Yeah.
I had to buy a car in the States and different things, and like I'm gradually moving out to the States. So I think what I'll have to do is I need to buy a bike here and get a bit more experience, and then get my license transferred over to the US.
Yeah,
drive a bike.
That's got to affect you quite a bit, because obviously you're a physical specimen, mate. You're an elite fucking fighter. You like doing these bits, a bit like fucking Cowboy. He likes doing his adrenaline stuff. But once you get like a major injury like you've got, it's got to really fucking play with your mind a little bit, especially like we've had fucking COVID. We had a pandemic.
Yeah, I should say the mental aspect of it is the worst, because obviously physically more than anything else, obviously you always know you can get back to where you were. Like I'm still training little bits now, and I'm still picking it up. And like I know I can get back where I was. But when it first happened, you just get it's just a bit of a depression. You know what I mean? You get a bit of a slump. Like I don't like to use the word depression until, because obviously I had this like experienced, obviously what they have experienced, and I like I've said this before, I don't think I've ever been in that point yet where I can actually say I've experienced depression. I've always been quite lucky on that side of things, but obviously I have hit a couple of lows to doing this, and obviously Mads had to do a lot of shit, like a couple of days where like I was woken up, I just said look, today's not a good day. Not so much in where like down or anything, I just get super aggressive, and like I just try and be nice, but I genuinely just have that feeling just by nailing off. And that's why I've always been like such a kid. If I can't train, if I can't burn off energy, I just get super aggressive. Like I'll be sat there with just shaking, just the shakes, you're just super aggressive. And that's why I like reading a lot, because I can just read and I just sort of like try and get rid of the day and sleep and just sort of try and go until it goes. And at least now I can get back training. I've sort of been able to ground myself a little bit more, because I can do a little bit, and I can do a little bit of walking and different things. I walk a couple of miles and different things. So I'm starting to get back to it. But I've had to wear shorts everywhere. It's just fucking knee brace. If you wear it over trousers, it slips down. So I just do wear shorts everywhere, looking like a right dad.
Yeah, I totally get that, mate. Genuine. Like everything you've just said then is like, it's a difficult state to be in when you're feeling low like that, and especially when you've got like you've got with you and you're like, well, I'm having a fucking shit day. You're like, can you just like leave me alone for a bit? I'm having a shit day. I need to do my own thing, and I can't do my own thing because I'm fucking injured. And it's one of those things that's going to like really niggle you. And it's good that you've like.
Mad always phrases it well. She always says that.
Yeah, carry on.
Oh, sorry, mate. It was delay again. So I come up.
No, you're good. You're all good. You said Mad's got a way of saying it.
Fucking delay. Yeah, Mad always says it. Yeah, she always says it the same way, which is it always feels like when she's down, the world always finds a way to kick her, and it's quite a depressing thing to say. But obviously, that's how I always know. Like I use her as reference in certain things because I always know, like I've never actually suffered with it because obviously I understand from. Oh, the reason why I'm feeling down. I know the reason why I keep pushing forwards and look somewhere, and then that's what helps me get out of this slump. Whereas for her, there's no trigger, there's no reason. She just feels terrible, and then obviously for her, there's no way out because how would you feel better when there's no reason why you're feeling terrible? I remember we talked about this before because obviously we have. Your experience is a different thing, and
But one thing I'm gonna give you fucking props for is the fact that you understand it. And you also have said to Mad, like straight away, I'm having a fucking shit day. That is spot on. It's as though that you've got control over your head. Like most people that suffer with depression or anxiety and things like that, they don't have that sort of control. They'll just spiral into a negative fucking downfall. You're like, no, I'm fucking feeling shit. I'm going to try and go for a walk. I'm going to read a book. And it's fucking spot on, mate. Genuine.
Try and do something. Yeah. It's like with her a couple times I do have you on my toes. Just like sometimes I'll turn around and she'll be making a noise and I have to go check on her and she's just sat there crying and we've had a good day and I'll just be like, look, and then before I used to be like, oh look, what's happened? Like what's the matter? I never could understand it. Now I just give her a hug and I just say, look, it's gonna be okay, like and you just get used to it. Which sounds harsh, but do you know what I mean? Like, you just got to be aware of it because, like I said, it's one of them things. Like I've said this to you multiple times. The strongest people I've ever met is people who struggle the most. The most intelligent people are usually the ones who are the most inner demons. And like you never know who's fighting one war, and you never know who's dealing with war. And like I said, it's just there's a lot of stuff people deal with, and it's just I'm just like I said. In a sick sort of way, I'm just happy that I don't have to deal with that. And seeing other people the way they deal with it is something that I don't think I could handle.
Yeah, definitely. But it's good that you've sort of got the grip on it. That's always a plus. That's always a plus, my man. But you know, things may change. Who knows? Tell you what, though, one thing I will bring up as a I'm going to steal this from the Fire and the Kid as a current event. Don't know if you've seen today on fucking line or anything. If you've been online about the Manchester United,
I know where she's going
about the Manchester United football player, and it's like you were saying that when you're going on a downward one, and you're starting to feel aggressive. I mean. You'd never think to fucking take it out on the missus, would you? That's fucking horrific, mate.
No, but then that's character. Yeah, like I obviously don't want to say too much about that because obviously people have their own things. But the thing I found sick and annoying is the amount of people who's tried to sort of give reasoning behind it and said, oh yeah, well, like some people said, oh, you could be dealing with this, you could be dealing with that. It's like, well, at the end of the day, there's a white line. And it doesn't matter what's happened, it doesn't matter how bad things are with you, how bad everything's happening. Like there's that white line, and I don't understand anyone rational would want to go near it.
Exactly.
For me, like I love my missus to death, and the fact that if I ever thought about putting my hands on it, that would make me so upset with myself.
Yeah,
I don't think I'd be able to deal with that because like
literally, mate, I said exactly the same thing.
Rational to hurt the one person you love more than anything else.
Yeah, definitely. I said exactly the same thing. So my missus picked me up from work, and we were driving back, and I looked at her and I went, I could never do that to you. I went, we have little play fights and that, and she always says, oh, you've been a bit rough there, and I'm like, oh, sorry. It's like, yeah, it's only because you just don't know your own strength when you're doing things. I was like, yeah, I'm not doing it on purpose. I went, I'd never fucking full on pelt you in the face or anything. But the main thing that I took from it, because yeah, you don't know the circumstances, like in fact, in terms of the domestic abuse. Not that I'm fucking saying he's in the right or wrong or whatever. It's the fucking audio clip that they've got where he's forcing himself on her. Like, it's like, dude, that it doesn't matter if that's your missus.
Mate, I guarantee you now, right? Yeah,
that's
exactly. But I guarantee you that if that goes to court, that audio file will be thrown out as inconclusive. They won't be able to use it.
Yeah, which is sickening in itself. But fucking hell, mate.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's like money now, and
it is, mate. It is. And I saw a response from her dad, and I was reading it. I can't remember it word for word, but it was like as though he was sticking up for Mason, not you, Mason, fucking football player Mason. And I was reading it, and I was like, if that was my daughter,
just threw my head in.
I was like, if that was my daughter, like, and I knew someone had done that to one of my girls, do you know what? I don't even know what I would do, but it wouldn't be legal. No chance.
Exactly. So, no chance. I could say this because I'm not going to give any details. I didn't actually know the girl's name or anything. I started a tattoo the other day, and in the room while I was getting tattooed, there was another girl getting tattooed, and it's weird actually, and because this wasn't long ago, and obviously I normally, like, me and James, we've known each other for that long now. My tattooist, that when he tattoos me, we talk a little bit, but a lot of time I'll switch off and read, and he just focuses, we listen to music and just chill out and like just relax. You know what I mean? And in the other chair in the same room, there was some girl getting tattooed, and I don't know who the girl is. That's why I'm happy saying the story, because I've never met her before, and never know who she was. She was getting tattooed, and so we just, like, I was reading and listening to music, and you just heard in my peripheral, and it was just like, oh yeah. And obviously it's the first time my mom's met him since he picked me up. And I just literally just looked at my tattooist, and the tattooist looked at me, and she was like, obviously it was like really uncomfortable, like got to that point where, because my mom was so like horrible to him that I had to leave. And I'm like obviously, because she is right to be like that, but obviously it's my life, and if she doesn't know the full details of what happened, and we're past it now, and I love him so much. And I'm just like how can you be with someone? Because like to be with someone, in my eyes, like, obviously again I'm biased in this opinion, but to be with someone, like, you have to fully love them, and you have to be able to fully trust them. And how can you trust someone who's happy to inflict harm on you?
Yeah, exactly.
To have your well-being as their first priority. Like, all I see now is someone who's selfish to the point where their interest is always about everything else. Like, you go back to the Greenwood thing, where obviously he's wanted sex, she didn't, and rather than having an adult conversation about it, where just obviously she doesn't want sex, that means there's no sex happening. He's forcing it, and from a selfish point of view, he's just inflicting what he wants. And like, how there's clearly only his interest. He has no capability to understand her feelings or understand her well-being. Like, he's just obviously out for himself, and like, that's not a partner, that's not someone who's, it's not love, and it's just toxic. And I never really understood relationships like that.
Nah, definitely not, mate. And it's as though he's like that entitled now because he plays for such a world fucking class football team. He's all on all this money. It's like, well, if I want it, I'm going to have it. It's like, it doesn't work like that. Get in the fucking real world, you cunt.
I know, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. And like, well, this is the thing as well. It's like, you go back to it as well. There's always this thing where, at the end of the day, like, I just don't know. It's just stupid. Like, at the end of the day, if you're not happy with someone, or if you're not getting on well, like, just do the right thing and leave.
and just leave.
Do you know what I mean? Like, if it's getting to the point where it's getting really conflicting and stuff, then just leave. Because, like, at the end of the day, it's never gonna end up well.
Yeah. Well, she probably won't like me for fucking bringing it up, but before me, my missus' ex-boyfriend was he fucking was horrible to her. Used to beat her up and things like that. Fucking pretty. If I ever fucking met him, I'd give him a fucking swift right to the fucking face. But yeah, but let's lighten it up a little bit because that was a bit fucking dark, wasn't it?
Deep. That was deep.
You were talking about getting some new ink, which I saw you being a wimp on your Instagram.
Not done yet. Yeah, it's not done. So they've only done the bottom part now. So we've done more, and so we've got loads more to do on the face, and then we've got a list that goes all the way up to my neck to do. It'll be good when it's done. He's a really good tattooist. It's
fucking good, mate.
I hate half finished tattoos. Like someone asked me about it. It was like, oh, it looks nice. I was like, nah, it looks shit. I hate it when it's unfinished. It was like, until it's finished, it's like I'm not.
Yeah,
it's
you won't be happy until it's fucking
like,
complete.
Oh, what's it going to be like when it's done?
Yeah, exactly. Any meaning behind this one? Because obviously you got a few.
They all means. I mean, so this one's a half down Ronin. So obviously a Ronin is a master samurai. So it basically just means obviously masterlessly day die sort of thing. It just means basically, like I said, you know what I mean, that you serve yourself. Don't bow to anyone. I do like the philosophy behind it. Obviously, samurai were a bit nuts with the old fact if they're slighted, they kill themselves. But apart from that, I do believe in the honor, the respect things, and the whole Bushido mentality. So, yeah.
Well, it sort of links in with all the martial arts stuff anyway, doesn't it?
Yeah, you just got to figure out what I'm going to do on the inside of my arm now, because there's going to be a big gap. Because this will obviously come down to here. Even if he comes around a little bit this way, there's still going to be a big gap here.
A lovely space for Granite Zero to be tattooed.
Mate, 100%. Just in block capitals.
Times New Roman, mate.
Times New Roman, that's right. Look, weird art, isn't it? Weird art. In schools, do you have to? Yeah. You're a lot older than me, you know. I always forget that. You weird art in schools.
Yes, word art, mate, was the way forward. I used to do it throughout all my fucking college stuff.
How old are you now? What are you, 33, 34?
34, mate. 35 in March. 35 in March. Getting old, mate.
So you're not that much older than me, because I'm 26 now, 27, so it's like 8 years older than me, yeah.
It's just a number, mate. It's just a number.
I back it 100%. I back 100%. 100%. My mom's auntie, she's in her 90s now, and she literally will not be restrained. She's out walking all the time. She's just had to give up her job, and her job was looking after the oldies, as she used to say. She used to make tea and coffees for some of the OAPs, and they were all younger than her. And she was rushing around making coffees.
Different breed, mate. Different breed. So I actually just got off the phone to my old man before I gave you the call.
Old Tommo.
Big Tommo, yeah. And he was like, oh, by the way, your nan's not doing too good. I was like, all right, bear in mind my nan's now 90, I want to say 95, something like that, 94 maybe. She's had bone cancer for the last 5 years. So when she originally got diagnosed with it, they told her that
she had it for 5 years.
Yeah, exactly. So when she got first diagnosed, mate, they told her that she had she's a freak of nature. But take her blood, and we'll find out there's the cure to cancer or something is inside her. So they told her she had 3 weeks to live.
Beast, absolute beast.
3 weeks to live. This was 5 years ago, right? And only just now, my dad phoned her out the other day, and only just now she went, "Oh, I'm starting to hurt now when I get up." It's like, what? Only just now. Look at, hey, there's the.
That's ridiculous.
I know.
That is just ridiculous.
But it's like she never complains about any aches or pains, anything like that. The only reason why she got found out was because she fell down the stairs and shattered her pelvis. That was the only reason why they found it. And ironically, she was only really ill when they first said that she had the 3 weeks to live. She was only ill when they were giving her all these painkillers and all the other stuff. Well, she was too old for the chemo, we think. She refused to have any other treatments. So didn't have the chemo, didn't have any other treatments.
See, look,
5 years.
I don't think. Obviously, I know this is something that can be taken the wrong way, and I don't mean anything. But I don't think I'd ever have chemo. It's one of them things. Obviously, I know that it's different when they literally tell you if you have it or you're going to die. But I just think it's one of them things where I just think it just not so much. It may extend your life, but it doesn't do it any favor. You're always sick and you're always got to deal with. Like obviously, it's different if they know you can recover. But obviously, so there's a story I shared on my Instagram this week. It's a boy. I didn't realize he lived so close to me. I actually read the article before his cousin reached out and got in contact with me. And he's a 19-year-old boy, and he's just been given terminal cancer diagnosis. 19.
I did see.
Yeah, rather than sort of like just sit down and think, oh, do you know what I mean? My life is in pieces, do you know what I mean? Which most people would do, because like handling a death sentence at 19 is something, because it is what it is. He's been given a death sentence at 19. Is something you can't deal with. Instead of doing that, there was a boy on his cancer ward who was just turned 6 years of age, and he's going through something that he did the first time before. Obviously, he might go over his first cancer, the second one that caught him. But then going through his first case, and to get treatment, they needed to pay for this private health care. So he went to his bank, got literally all the money I had left, which was like £1,000. Obviously 19, I don't think I had £1,000 in my bank.
No, definitely not. He's done well there.
He's done well there, and donated that to the family. And then when he did that, he said, "Look, I want to do more." So he decided to do like a Just Give thing, and I'm sure they're up to last time I looked, they were over 50k. I did message the boys in Tam, do some videos, and one of them did, Slava. The rest of them said they get to me, so I have to chase them up again now, because they haven't got back to me again. So I'll have to chase them up. But mate, it's just, I mean, the fact that you can go through stuff like that and manage to deal with it is just, that is
unbelievably selfless as well. It's amazing what certain people this is. It's only like a handful of people that would probably do that. Like, instead of thinking of himself.
Mate, I always told my missus, if I ever had a cancer diagnosis that was terminal, I would literally just disappear, and you could probably find me in Thailand doing a lot of cocaine and a lot of hookers.
And a lot of ladyboys.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what I mean? Try everything in that. Just a little statement there. I've never actually done cocaine or
ladyboys. He's never done ladyboys either.
All ladyboys, yeah. Either one. So it just went in. But we always joke about it. But then, like, you think about it, like, it is quite depressing. But what would you do if you given a terminal diagnosis? Because like, for me, I wouldn't want to sit home and wilt away in front of my family. Because like, obviously for you, it's one of the things you could deal with, because at the end of the day, you have got no choice to deal with it. But everyone else around you, they have to deal with an impossibility, and it affects them so much. So I think I'd prefer to just be missing. And there was a question behind it. Maybe tell someone so that someone does know, so they can sort of like tell them, sort of tell me not coming back. But I know. I just don't think I'd want to sit in front of my family and wilt away. I don't think I'd want to do that, man.
It's
all the rest
one of those decisions that you never want to make.
Have to make
with.
Yeah.
And this lad is doing it at 19, and he's helping a lad
and taking a hero's way out. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, like for me, I said this before. I definitely take the coward's way. Do you know what I mean? I disappear in the abyss, and obviously doing. But he's literally standing his ground and doing what he thinks is right, and helping save another kid. And that's, do you know what I mean? It's more than you could ask of any person.
Yeah, exactly. It's his last like hurrah, and he's decided, instead of doing loads of ladyboys and cocaine, he's gonna help a 6-year-old. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fucking hell.
Some people are just fucking built different, aren't they? You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Definitely. It's like when people decide to, like, we'll take Matt for example, at Tidy Butt. You know, he made the decision to create a fucking an amazing charity. Like, he's not a big fucking name, but he's doing fucking superb. He's fucking really helping loads and loads of people, and it's like, if more and more,
take that opportunity. I'm going to take that opportunity.
Do
So
it.
Tidy Butt is a mental health charity. Obviously, me and you have spoken about it multiple times. So for anyone who hasn't seen or heard about it before, if you are feeling down or anything, Tidy Butt is there. Find them on Instagram. They're doing a lot of things in local areas, but Matthew's always there if you need to reach out and speak to someone. He's helped. He's actually helped a lot of people during the last couple of weeks and the last couple of months during how long's COVID been going on for now? Last 2 years.
2 years, mate. Yeah.
Just because Mind and different other mental health charities are obviously overloaded with different things, and there's quite a lot of big weights for it. So he said, like, you've had people get in touch who said they fucking mind, and I had to wait, like, been told they'd have to wait like 16 weeks even after telling them they're close to finishing it.
Yeah.
So he's been reaching and doing what he can. So if you are in a place where you are struggling, obviously Tidy Butt's there, and then obviously get in touch, drop me a message. I know you're there as well, same as me, and I won't understand, but I will be there to listen. So please drop me a message, and if you are struggling.
And sometimes that's all you need. You know what I mean? And I spoke to Reese last week. Reese Thomas, he was a fucking incredible guest as well. He's been through some shit. But yeah, I spoke to Matt before as well, and I sort of made a point the other day on one of my posts that I put out about these bigger charities, and it's like it's as though, yes, I'm sure they are overrun with requests and things like that, but also you're a massive charity, you've got loads of employees. I'm sure you can deal with more and more instead of putting people on waiting lists that could eventually like not happen because they might spiral into fucking God knows where. You know what I mean? And I've found
doctors are the same. The doctors are the same.
I had it, mate. I had it
sorry.
When I went through my beginning phase of going to the doctors and whatnot. I reached out to a number of military charities and the likes of Mind, and they were like, "Oh, we'll send a caseworker." And I was like, "Okay." Still waiting to see this caseworker, and it's been like 5 years. It's like, so I'll do it myself then. You know what I mean? But it's as though they're more inclined to deal with the fundraising side, so it makes them more money than they are of actually helping people.
Mate, the doctors are the same, right? The hospitals are the same. Like, I understand, obviously, they're struggling with stuff, but like the local GPs at the moment, especially, I'm going to use my GP as an example. I know the out of anyone's struggles as well, but mine's the worst thing ever. If you have anything wrong, so I had a shooting pain in my balls during my last fight camp. In the actual camp, and it was occurred more than once. So coming back, I spoke to Matt. I said, "Look, I'm gonna go get checked out." I go, "I'll get some other things checked out anyway," because I had to go see a doctor to get approval to get my knee scanned, so the UFC could pay for it all. So I was like, "Oh, I'll ask him to check as well." So I went to see him. I said, "Look, this, and this." "Oh, you'll have to wait 14 days." So in the end, I was like, "I can't wait that long for my knee." So I said, "Yeah, that's perfect. I'll wait and see." And I went to see my physio, and she ended up referring me to my knee. So it come close to the date. So I went to him and said, "Look, I'm waiting all this time. Like, I'm waiting. I need to get checked." He said, "Look, stay there. We'll make sure someone speaks to you." So I waited the 14 days. I had a call the same time I was in physio. They called once when I was in physio, and that was it. That was my appointment I missed. So I would have to call back up and wait another 14 days. And like, there's a girl in my area now. I seen it. Well, I say my area. It's more Murph away, and she's 23. I believe she's 23. She's between 21 and 23. I'm sure she's 23. And she's just had a breast cancer terminal diagnosis. And what that was, she went to the doctors at the start of COVID with a lump in her breast. And he told her that she's too young to have breast cancer. And it was by name. And that if it got bigger, come back. So it got bigger. So she went back and she said, "Look, because there's only one lump where there's no..." So she had another one. She waited to see him. It spread. There's a big story here. It's been called back up because the courts at the moment have said that it was incompetence, the reason that she died, which was Skylar, who is from the local same town as me. I know her dad quite well. I know her uncles and her cousins. She actually died at 6 years old because she died from sepsis. She went to septic shock and died because they kept as having some type of rash in the end, that she died from septic shock. So yeah, I think it was, again, like, I understand everything's underfunded and overcrowded and different things, and with COVID they need to do restrictions and weights and different things, and everyone's working from home remotely. But surely if you're working from home remotely and it's a call, surely you can make enough calls that you're not waiting 14 days for a doctor's appointment just to speak to a doctor.
Yeah, well, we had it. So we had a bit of a scare. So the missus found a lump. It was under her armpit near her breast, and obviously that can happen with like cancer, breast cancer. Go under your thing. So she was flapping as she would because she found a lump. But previously to that, we had booster jabs. So that is a side effect. You can get is it lymph nodes? I think something like that. Anyway.
Lymph nodes, yeah.
So she was flapping anyway. So she's phoned up the doctor. I need to book an appointment to get a checkup because I found a lump. And they were like, it's a similar sort of thing. How old are you? She's like, oh, I'm 33, 32. Oh shit, 32. And she was like, oh, well, we can't do a mammogram because you're too young for a mammogram. We don't do that sort of thing. It's like, hang on, I'm sure anybody could get fucking breast cancer. I'm sure. But luckily for us, one of my close mates, Chris from back home, his wife is a doctor, like a proper doctor. I do this all the time. I wind him up. So he's a doctor. He's got a PhD, but in fucking, I don't know, politics or something shit. And so I say, your missus is a proper doctor. You'll just pretend one, mate. So if I'm gonna get some medical advice, I'm gonna ask your missus. Is that all right? But yeah, she said just. It may go. It could be lymph nodes, or it could be
keep an eye
on it, and that just gave her some ease. Like when we phoned up the doctor or the surgery, they just were trying to palm her off. It's like fucking hell. And me being me, I'm like fucking raging bull. I'm like, well, I'll go.
I just get aggressive, yeah. So I don't think I've seen you since. So when I last spoke, did I tell you Mad had her tonsils removed?
Oh.
No, so Mad was getting this thing called, well, you'll know, I don't know why I'm saying this thing called, she kept getting quinces. So quinces is where your throat, lining your throat swells closed.
Yeah.
So it happened when she was younger up in Nottingham, and she had to come back on it. They had to rush her through because her throat closed up that much that they were going to go to emergency surgery, and they put a drip in her arm, and luckily she reacted very well to the antibiotics and her throat went down, so they didn't need to operate, but they were going to lance her throat open. So it would have been quite bad. So she had another one around with me, so we went to the Neville Hospital, and this was, was this before COVID or in COVID or one of the after? I don't know, one of them. We went there, and I don't know. But we went there, and there was a wait for A&E as we was waiting for the A&E doctors to see her, and obviously people would come in, like kids would jump the queue. Like I remember one time some kid came in here, the nurse opening the door to let him back out, saying, no, like it's just a rash, please go see your local GP, different things. Like you don't need to bring him here for a bit of temperature and a rash. And it was like obviously understandable things. And then the police brought someone in who was drunk, and she had to see him, so she was really irritated when Mad went in. And Mad and man went in, wouldn't let me come in because they know I literally just jumped straight away to demands. Be like, look, no, this needs to be dealt with, and I like to make sure that people know that like I'm not just going to sit there and take it. Whereas Mad's mum they're both super intelligent, but they're both quite relaxed in that area. Mad obviously being a nurse before for a year, going nursing school, wherever it is, university nursing, a year and a half. Anyway, so she went in, said, look, I got history of quinces, my throat's swelling closed. Obviously, her mum was speaking because her throat was swelling closed. She got history with quinces, her throat swelling closed. Like if you open your mouth, you can see how swollen the tonsils in her throat is at the back. Last time this happened, she had one thing, blah, blah, blah. Right, yeah, no problem. Yeah, we're really busy, but if someone can see you, they will. Brushed us straight back out. So we sat there now. We sat there for another hour and a half. The throat was swelling, closed even more to the point where she wasn't having problems breathing, but you could hear her breathing. Do you know what I mean? She sounded
Yeah, I know what you mean.
like a dog. The dog we got. I mean, you could start hearing her breathe. So I was getting irritated and like, look, I'm going to kick off. And all of a sudden, then the dog come out because they got quiet and called us in. So I stayed outside, Mad went in. And then about another 40, 50 minutes, they come back out. What happened is they'd taken her in, they put straight on an antibiotic drip again, and waited an hour for her throat to start swelling down, then give her a course of antibiotics and kicked her out, or however long they was in there. They weren't in there that long, like an hour or 2 hours. So when she came out, what they basically said was the triage nurse had put her down as having a sore throat. Yeah. So considering her throat was purple and swelling up, the triage nurse had put her down as having a sore throat. And he said, like, if it hadn't got quiet, no one would have had the time to see you because you kept getting pushed back. So I don't really have the healthcare system in UK at the moment. I don't really get on with very well.
Yeah. You can sort of see why
the US healthcare system as well. Really don't get on with. So which one's better? Because obviously the US healthcare system, they send you there, and the first thing they say is, "Well, how are you paying for the service?"
Yeah, exactly.
And until you can literally prove your pay, and they won't even acknowledge you.
It's one of those. I totally agree. Like, as much as the NHS is awesome because it's free and you do get seen, you also get that you it's one of those, you get what you pay for. You can see why quite a few people end up going private because you don't turn up and they go, "Oh, it's just a sore throat." It's like, it's not a fucking sore throat, you fucking dickhead. Can't breathe.
No, it's just there's a lot. But yeah, exactly. It's just everything's overworked, and I understand that. But like, COVID isn't an excuse for people not doing their job. And dark as that sounds, and obviously as much like Megan.
No, I agree, mate. I totally agree.
Because at the end of the day, like, healthcare is a key principle for people. Like, it's something they need. Do you know what I mean? And it's like the fact that there's people dying because doctors and working as many hours and seeing as many patients. Surely, if you're answering phone calls, the client should be able to do more calls than you would be to see patients. So if you only see 20 patients a day, you should be able to make 60 calls.
Yeah, definitely.
Because they don't work. They're not making it every day. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. It is what it is. Like, I'm not a doctor, so if I offend anyone, I do apologize. I just beat people up for them, but it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
You get paid for violence. you if anything, you give them
how
more
nice
business.
Does that sound?
You give them more business, if anything.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean?
That is a pretty cool thing. That's
Entertainment.
A good quote by me.
You're not entertained.
I'm gonna put my name on that quote. I get paid for violence with quotation marks. So if you ever use that, I'm suing you.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to use that.
Definitely do it, and then I'm going to say that was me. That was I said that. when you're doing your next victory speech,
are you going to go down and watch the London card in the UFC London card?
Do you know what? I would love to, but I've got so much on this fucking year. Yeah, I've got one of my best mates' weddings.
Expensive.
I've got my missus's cousin's wedding. I've got a fucking stag do to go on. I've got.
Oh no, not a stag do.
I know. No. Fucking hell, as if I'm going to Croatia for a weekend. Jesus.
How have you been forced to do that? It's going to be terrible.
They went, Tommo, what are you doing? I was like, wow, I don't know if I can do this. And they're like, well, you're going to have to. We're going to twist your arm. I'm like, oh, don't twist it.
One of my friends, obviously my age group, my friends are only just, because obviously a lot of people get late marriages at the moment now. So one of my friends just, I say just, he proposed to his missus about a year and a half ago, and the wedding's off already. So
brilliant.
Yeah, it was a year, I think. So the stag do was planned for March, and yeah, it's obviously not going to happen. He's like, oh yeah, we can still go away, and all the boys are like, nah, nah.
A couple of my mates, right? They all the time. They're like, we're just gonna make up a friend and say that he's getting married, so that we can just go out on the weekend without like the missus really giving a shit.
The miss.
You know, Mark from work.
Yeah.
He's married. He's got a stag do. Oh right. But
just hire someone to come and pretend to be the groom.
Could be a opportunity for that.
I was going to say, here we go. I'll give you a business opportunity now.
Yeah.
Sean, fakegroom.com.
Fakegroom.com. I like that. I'm gonna patent that.
Mate, Google it. It's probably a website already. You know, it probably is.
Oh, definitely is. So tell you what. So now that you're injured and not doing anything apart from playing Xbox or PlayStation, whichever is your PlayStation. You make me sick. I'm an Xbox guy. But any series that you're watching? Have you binge watched any fucking Netflix or Disney or?
Yes.
What's your go-to?
I watched Disney. I watched the Hawkeye. I watched the series Hawkeye. You know, from the Marvel universe. It was decent. I watched Silent Moon, the Korean one. You know, like they had what was the Korean one that everyone liked?
Squid Game.
The Squid Games. Same people who made that made Silent Sea. It's okay. And then I just started watching the other Korean one that's just been released. Like everyone's gonna die or you're all gonna die. The zombie one.
All right.
So I used to watch that because I love a zombie series. Oh, I love it. And then Mad got me to watch Euphoria, which that's obviously it's a bit wild. And then there was some murder one we seen that was really, really good on Netflix. It's like it's about someone who disappears, and they link the disappearances together and
Stay Close.
Case 23 years ago. Stay Close. That was brilliant. I did like that.
It took me a couple of episodes. It must have taken me about 3 episodes, right? And I was like, this is fucking doing my head in. They keep jumping around everywhere. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, this is brilliant. This is amazing. So me and my missus watched that one.
By episode 3 or 4, because obviously as soon as they said it was like, oh yeah, maybe this could be a serial killer. I was like, it's definitely a serial killer because obviously it's got to be. It's not going to be this serious. It's definitely a serial killer. And I didn't work out because you don't know until the last episode. Okay, how smart are you?
You don't know.
Definitely don't know. Yeah. It could be anyone until the last episode. But I took my guess and I was correct on episode 3 because me and Mad picked someone and I picked the correct one. Obviously, I'm not going to ruin it, but I did pick the correct one.
It was well, I said it was either going to be her or the fucking
the boyfriend, the old ex-boyfriend, and that.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be the bold bloke that kept like appearing. I went, that's not who we think he is. That bold bloke, that's the bloke from the fucking bar. She was like, is it? And I went, yes. Yeah,
the bar.
But I tell you what, I just finished.
I didn't go on. Sorry, before you go, I couldn't have guessed not the ex-husband, the actual, the husband's partner. I couldn't have guessed that.
No,
didn't guess that at all. Mad ending. Go on. Sorry. Anyway,
so what I literally just finished today when I was supposed to be at work. Luckily, none of my bosses listened to this. Was Dope Sick on Disney. It's about
Any good?
It's true story. It's about OxyContin, the drug.
Drugs.
And how they were basically saying that it was
prescribing it, people.
Yeah, they were prescribing it, but they were saying it's like it's non-addictive and all this, and they forged all these statistics. They're using a study that was really just an article that a bloke wrote and all sorts. I was watching it going, what? This is true. I was like, why do I not realise this? But
there's a good one for you. So Matt told me this one, and it literally blew my mind. If you get a chance, and for people who are looking at home, research the blood doping scandal. Not the blood doping scandal, the dirty blood scandal, or the tainted blood scandal. Or I can't remember exactly what it's called now. I ruined it myself. But basically, what it was in. I wish Matt was here so I could ask her. But in like the 90s or the 80s, the UK had a shortage of blood, hospitals and stuff. So they had this bright idea to buy blood from the US. So obviously, as the US does, when they bought the blood, they were getting it from prisons. So what happened is they bought the blood black, they put it in all different tankers, put a chemical in to clean it, and was giving it out to people. Well, they didn't test the blood for blood diseases, hepatitis, HIV, none of these diseases. They didn't test any of them. So say you had a source of blood that was infested with HIV or hepatitis, where they was mixed them in these big containers and cleaning it, it was infecting all the blood with hepatitis, HIV. So this blood they were giving out to people was dirty blood. So what they did, because they were giving people the blood, they were giving them the option and said, look, there's a problem. The only blood supply we've got, if you have it, you're going to test positive for hepatitis C, I think it was, which is really minor.
Yeah.
But obviously, if you don't have it, you're going to die. So we recommend you have the blood. And they'd be like, oh, yeah, we want the blood. If you want the blood, you need to sign this form. And it basically says, look, because we've infected you with hepatitis C, we're going to give you like $5,000. And then that's obviously, that's going to pay for the compensation. So they would all sign in these forms, and they'd be like, "Oh, after this, oh, by the way, you've also infected you with HIV, hepatitis. You're gonna die even sooner than before," because they'd signed the form. They were screwed. So the reason I was studying it in a law group was because at the minute it's going to trial, and they're trying to find out who's at fault, and it's super hard to find who to blame because it's obviously it's the people who were in charge at the time. They end up retiring or resigning, different things, and it's like it's hard to blame individuals because they all blame the organization, different things. It's just ridiculous. So
there's this scene in that Dope Sick where they've got one of the reps that sells it to the pharmacy rep that sells it to the doctors. So that's how it all fucking works over there. And he's basically decided that he doesn't want any part of this anymore. He's got to the point where he's like, "This is you're changing the goalpost each fucking." Like they started off just giving them 10 milligrams, and then it's 20, 40, 60, 80, and then it's like 160 milligrams, and it's like, this is ridiculous. And he basically, they said, right, you can walk out of here now, and you get your severance pay of 75 grand. But you have to sign this non-disclosure agreement and you can walk away with it, or we're just going to sack you and you get nothing. And you don't know if he signed it or not because it cuts like this. And he's like, fucking hell. It's the fact that they just put it on the table and he went, oh, I'm going to take it to my lawyer to look over it. And they're like, no, you're not. You either sign it now or
you do it here or you leave. Yeah.
It's fucking, I was like, whoa.
Well, there's synthetic heroin, wasn't there? I can't remember what it's called, but that's one of the big drugs in the US. And they used it as a cure to heroin addicts, and it basically was more addictive than heroin.
Yeah, it's madness. The opioid crisis. They all got from Afghanistan.
Epidemic, yeah. Chasing the dragon.
Yeah. That's what people think they will. And why did we go to war with fucking Afghanistan? Definitely wasn't for terrorism. Got nothing to do with the oil, copious amount of poppies that they've got over there.
Gold, and the amount of gold they had, the amount of oil they had.
Madness, mate. It's all madness. And now we're getting fucking hell, mate.
Freedom.
Fucking and now we got Russia kicking off. Or not kicking off, as they're saying.
So Russia's always kicking off.
They've sent thousands of troops, hundreds of thousands of troops to the border of Ukraine. And Joe Biden and America have gone, well, if you do that, it's an act of war. Then you got fucking us going, well, America said it's an act of war, we'll do it. I'm sat here as fucking Johnny Nobody now, thinking, can we please not go to war with Russia because they don't give a shit. They will blow everybody up. And we'll all be speaking Russian, which will be difficult for you in your Welsh accent.
Or North Korean.
Yeah. Either or.
Old Kimmy's going to jump in the bandwagon and start throwing grenades around. Do you know what I mean?
I don't want no Russian sauce, mate. Don't want it. Don't want none of that.
Funny one. I just wait and see. That's the thing, innit? It'd be like Red Dawn all over again.
Yeah, I'll tell you what was fun. I saw a meme that popped up, and I was like, "Can we all say thank you to Russia going to the border of Ukraine for curing COVID?"
Mate, there was a new arms war. There was no wars. So all of a sudden there was the vaccine rush. It was ridiculous, do you know what I mean? But again, I'm not against or for vaccines or anything like that. It's just
I'm exactly the same as you, mate. Freedom of choice.
Freedom of choice.
You choose to have it or you don't have it. It's up to you. But also, don't try and force me to go either way because I'm just going to tell you to fuck off.
Well, it was the whole thing, wasn't it? You need a vaccine to protect yourself from a virus, but then you also have to make sure uninfected people have the vaccine to protect you from them, even though you're vaccinated against a virus that they're going to infect you with. And it's just sort of like,
it's fucking madness.
What? Do you know what I mean? And sorry.
Yeah. Are you sure?
You sure?
But then then it all goes crazy, and you get a certain bloke that tries to. Old Neil Young pops up and wants to cancel fucking Joe Rogan.
just a disclaimer on that as well before someone starts trying to cancel me. I am actually vaccinated as a UFC fighter. To make sure that I had to get home, I had to get vaccinated. So you can't cancel me because I had the needle put in my arm twice.
Makes him the Dragon Jones.
Do you know what I mean? The Cage Warriors is already cancelling me, so I need to stand up in my game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I still remember. I know we spoke about it. I remember putting the comment in. I was like, the disrespect on his name on this is fucking outrageous.
I did like it.
He had fucking 2 belts, you cunts.
No one cares about that anymore now. That was so 2020.
Yeah. It is, mate. It is, unfortunately. Hey. I'll tell you what, there's some good fighters on this London card, don't there? I saw Jack.
But I was on the London card. I was on the London card before my knee op. I had to pull out. They offered me an opponent and everything, and then it was a perfect opponent for me. I was super excited to do it, and then now I'm not.
Now you can sit and watch like us laymen's.
You know, I'm hoping if the UFC give me tickets, because again, UFC are quite tight with their tickets. So I did meet. I did a podcast with MMA on Point the other day while it was a watch party, and I met Saul from Chasing Status, one of the Chasing Status DJs.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, I got tickets to UFC. And then, are you going? I was like, I've asked for tickets, Saul, but we'll soon find out. Possibly, I'm probably not. But yeah, hopefully I'll see you there. He was sound. He was really sound. But yeah, we'll wait and see. Do you know what I mean? I think it's one of them things like, I'll start winning some fights. They'll give Darren Till tickets. They won't give me tickets.
Yeah. Is Darren Till injured, or is he just not fighting at the minute?
Apparently, he's trying to fight. The guy they're trying to set up for him to fight is injured, so he's got to wait a little bit. But who knows?
Yeah, it's all about matchups, isn't it?
It is. Obviously, I did see good matchup for Jack Shaw on that card, and I am hoping to be up there to support him because him and Corey's there. So
yes,
it'll be good laugh. Obviously, Corey's trains that team out. Mailed me a lot, so she's come out of her shell.
Yeah, it's good, mate. It's good. I still think it's fun. I think Darren brought it up as well. When I spoke to Darren last, he was saying how they think that all Welsh people have got miners' blood and miners' strength. Who all worked in the mines.
They haven't
they? All of you, every single one of you, is a descendant of a miner.
And And until you turn 4, they have you in the mine anyway, crawling through the tunnels. They still do that now. Do you know what I mean? It's just
Exactly
sort of
that.
one of them things. Whoever gets the surface survives.
that
week.
it's like Sparta, isn't it? They send you all down there. The ones that come up are the chosen ones.
Fight the walls.
It's like they've got nothing.
Yeah. Mate, honestly, my grandfather was a miner, and then my great grandfather on the other side was a bare knuckle boxer. So,
oh, well, there you go.
It's just, do you know what I mean? Tough on both sides.
Tough, mate. Different breed.
Tough. With a capital T.
Built different.
There we go. I have that tattooed in there now. Built different, tattooed in there.
Yeah, and then you can crack an egg like they do on TikTok. Like built different.
I can't do that. My bicep ain't big enough.
It doesn't need to be. it's all
like that.
So, it probably was, but now you've gone into like civvy eating fried chicken mode. You can't eat fried chicken, can you? Nah.
I had cake left over from Christmas that we froze, gluten-free cake. So we got out and defrosted, and I was just eating cake for breakfast.
Why not?
Breakfast,
Why not?
lunch, dinner.
I have to
stick with some abs, man.
Look at that! Look at that! Look at him.
Almost.
I'm not even gonna bother, mate. I'm not even gonna bother doing that. I'll put all my viewers off. All two of them.
How furry that stomach is, I do.
I'm furry all over, mate. I'm like a fucking Ewok.
Okay. I seen something actually. This will be funny. You'll appreciate this. And childish. Some guy had split up with his missus, and because she cheated on him, he wanted to get back at her. He put posters up everywhere and put a phone number on there, and it was a Chewbacca competition to win $1,000. So if whoever left the best Chewbacca impression would win $1,000. So she had literally just calls going off on her phone all the time. People leaving Ewok of Chewbacca voicemails and making the Chewbacca sounds on their phone. And I just thought, honestly, what an absolute active act. What a brilliant thing. Because it is harmless, do you know what I mean? Obviously, I know you shouldn't be giving out someone's mobile number, but it is harmless. You just wake up with like 1,700 Chewbacca sounds on her phone, do you know what I mean? Funny.
Fucking brilliant.
Funny.
That's fucking brilliant. One thing I have to bring up to you, mate, because obviously you went to the Beefy Boys. You saw Little Brown and the Beefy Boys. What was that shirt about, though?
What's wrong with my shirt?
Was it shit shirt night or?
No, I love shirts like that. Actually, I had one I did a viewing party with watch party with Forrest Griffin, and I had a shirt on there, and Danny Castillo, one of the coaches in town, messaged me and was like, "What the hell is that shirt?" I'll say the same to you as I said to him. No fashion if it took your teeth out your head, because I look awesome.
Only you could pull it off, though. If I wore that, I would just look like a cunt. But because you're Mason the Dragon Jones, you can wear shirts like that. It's like a rule.
You just got to roll with it sometimes, do you know what I mean?
And I like the fact that after your last fight, you brought that up. You're like, it's the Dragon. Where's the gone?
I hate that. Mason Dragon Jones. It's like, but no, where's the there? Do you know what I mean? I need it to be instated. It's the Dragon. Do you know what I mean? That's the whole thing. Just doesn't sound the same calling me Mason Dragon Jones. It's just a bit gay, do you know what I mean? No, like there's anything wrong with that, but just put the on there, do you know what I mean?
It does sound better.
It does sound better. Put emphasis on the name, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some respect on my name.
Do you ever want to put it at the beginning?
No.
The Dragon Mason Jones.
I think meant they're Mason Dragon Jones. I was thinking, what the fuck?
No.
The Dragon Mason Jones. Yeah, but like it's easy, like it's more theoretical
like Iron.
where it's like theoretical or whatever it is. Mason the Dragon Jones rather than
I get it.
Dragon Mason Jones. You just like Mason Jones there, wouldn't you?
Yeah. See, on my massive stage of the white collar boxing, My nickname was at the front, so it was.
What was that?
That I'm the tank, can I?
Ankles. Sean Ankles Thompson.
That's what it should have been. Sean Fatboy Thompson.
The tank. Nah, the tank's a good one. The tank's a good one.
See, because I'm not going to call him out for it, but obviously Jack Shaw is just Tank, isn't it? Jack Tank Shaw.
Jack Tank Shaw, yeah.
Wait,
have you seen why?
He was big, wasn't he?
As a kid, or well, not a kid, as a young teenager, they used to reckon he looked like Tank Abbott. Brilliant it is. Oh, brilliant. Good. So they used to call him Tank. I remember when I knew him when we was in the kickboxing clubs together, everyone always referred to him as Tank. He was like 12, 13, and everyone was like, "Oh, you know Tank? Yeah, I know Tank guy. Yeah, Tank. You know Tank." And then obviously he went back to just being called Jack, and then Jack Tank Shaw again. So
yeah, mine came from football. Funny enough.
Really?
Yeah, from playing football. I was playing a game, and I went on it was a crazy run. Scored a fantastic goal. And they went, "Fucking hell, Tommo, you're just like a tank, you are." And it was like, "Oh, he's a fucking tank." I was like, "Yeah, built like a tank."
Tommo the tank engine. Tommo the tank engine.
That's it, mate. You know. He knows. What's your plans then for the week?
So I go S&C 3 days a week. This week it is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Thursday I'm seeing physio before S&C to get my knee brace removed. And then I got cardio on Friday, and then some light exercises on Saturday because I start doing more from Thursday. So start picking it up and start getting rid of my gut, start getting back fit and strong. I have been trying to do chin-ups, which keeps telling me off because obviously doing chin-ups is fine because your feet come off the floor, but you have to land back on one of your legs. And obviously try and make sure I land on my left leg all the time. She said, not only you're overcompensating, but if you land on your other leg, she's going to shout at me. So I'm not allowed to do chin-ups. So we're doing like press-ups and like loads of seated exercises, like floor press and different things, and everything that really does put weight to your legs. And then loads of calf exercises. So we're doing loads of calf extensions and this and that, and loads of like body weight exercises on my calves just to build my calves and hamstrings up and different things.
Well, that's something. At least you're doing
something. I did a bit of skier. Yeah, mate. I can't deal with not doing something. It drives me up the wall. Christmas, like I said, I was because they're 23rd until the 2 weeks after I could actually release the brace because I was like couldn't really do anything with it and it was sore. I was just like I said down. Let's go with down. I was low, lower than a snake's belly.
Yeah. Well, when you're finally injury free, you'll be as high as giraffe pussy. Joe Rogan, that one. Joe Rogan stand up. That's not my joke. But yeah, it's. We didn't actually talk about that, did we? About Neil Young.
Spotify thing.
Is it Neil Young or Neil Diamond?
Neil Young it is. I think it's Neil. I think it's Neil Young.
Yeah, trying to cancel Rogan. But I've seen some fucking conspiracy things on that. I've seen some conspiracy things. So if you Google it, he's actually sold half of his music to a company. I don't know the company. UK Productions, we'll call it. Who is also owned by another company called Black Productions in America.
They're owned by a company.
And they're owned by the CEO of Pfizer.
Yeah.
And obviously, Rogan has called out all these pharmaceutical companies. So is it them trying to get him? It's fucking madness. But also, it's freedom of speech. Just like he's always said, and like everybody says, if you don't like it, don't listen.
Exactly what I was going to say. If you're not interested, then switch it off. It's not exactly like you're forced to listen to it. You're not tied to a chair.
I'd rather not be forced to listen to Neil Young's music. Not that I even knew what music he did, if I'm honest.
No, it's past my age band.
Yeah.
Past my age band. What I would say is this is one of the things that do my head in about obviously democracy, because everybody is so adamant about democracy until they don't agree with the decision, and so they don't agree with the decision. Yep. They're against democracy. It was like, obviously, if we go back to the vote leaving Europe, and obviously the vote between Labour and the Conservatives in the election after that, where they literally they was happy with it until there was protests after because they didn't agree with the result. And like,
they didn't like it.
I fully understand that, like, it wasn't none of the, like, nothing I voted against everything that happened, but like, it wasn't for me. But I'm not gonna vote. I'm not gonna protest democracy, because what do you get if you vote that? What's the other choice? Dictatorship? Do you know what I mean?
I was going to say that. State. I was saying that for ages, mate. I was like, well, on one hand, you lost, and you obviously haven't accepted that you lost, so you're going to argue and fucking disagree.
Protest.
But then it's like,
the old people it was.
Yeah, but then it's like, if it was the other way around, would the other side have done the same? And it's like, I don't think the other side would have. If, for example, we'll take Brexit. If we voted to remain, I don't think the ones that voted leave would have gone, fucking, this is outrageous, I want to recount. It's like, oh, all right, cool, we're going to remain.
It's just, I don't know. There
crazy time we live in, mate,
and there's only small groups.
Like we know, as you probably know now, with your status going up and up and up, everybody's got a voice and everyone's got an opinion, and it's like they want you to know your opinion.
So here's a good one for you. Opinions like arseholes. Everyone's got them, but not everyone wants to see it.
Yeah. Or eat it. But yeah.
Fucking army humanized. 100%.
Oh. But yeah, you're all right. It's fucking madness. Yeah. I had a bit of a back and forth with a fucking dickhead today, going back to the Greenwood thing. It was on Facebook, it was fucking ridiculous. So he's
Mate, never argue with an idiot on Facebook.
Oh, I know, but I enjoy it. But I put something, right? I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna tell you what he did, because it's fucking wound me up. I haven't called him a cockwomble and everything. Where has he gone? Unless it's been removed. No, it hasn't.
Banned for bullying now.
I probably will be. I got a shadow ban on Instagram for calling someone a mong.
Max Griffin got blocked for, almost banned, almost lost his account on Instagram because he shared a video of some guy getting hit by a car.
Oh, so basically what happened was someone has shared the images and the voice clip of what happened, and this bloke, I'm not going to call his name out because that's a bit harsh. He's put, that's bullshit. That's another chick hustling. So I put, what are you on about? And he's put, that's how they use celebrities. They hustle. Wise up, man. I was like, hang on, she's got blood all over her face for a start. And then I literally just put, he tried to rape her. Get a grip. And he's put, she was Mason's girl. Not that Mason, by the way. Mason Greenwood.
Greenwood.
Yeah. And then I put, it's still rape, you fucking cockwomble. Shows the type of man that you are. And he's put, she was his girl, you midget. I was like, for a start, right, I'll take offense. I'm 5'6". I am not a midget. How fucking dare you?
Like a power dwarf.
Yes, I am vertically challenged. I like to use the term combat midget. But yeah, I was like, this shows the type.
Do you know what I mean? He's done well for himself.
Guy is though. That he's obviously gone, well, it's his girlfriend, so it's all right. It's okay that she said no then.
He's allowed to. Do you know what I mean? Doesn't matter what she says. If he's his girlfriend, he can do what he wants.
That's good.
That's good, do you know what I mean?
Fucking morons. But yeah, like you said, don't get in arguments with people on Facebook. Or I had another one, mate. Here's a good one for you. So I saw this reel And I thought, yeah, I can sort of see both sides, but also he was saying we shouldn't limit kids on tablets and technology because that's the way that the world is going. They need to use it. Yeah,
I know.
That was my face. I was like, but also they're my kids. I don't want them to be sat on a tablet all day. I'd quite
limit usage
to be doing other stuff. And this bloke has come back to me. He went, well, esports and things like that are a big thing now. And I put, should we not call them esports though? Because it's not a sport. And he was like, and it was literally a back and forth like this. He was like, well, it is because they get paid millions. I went, they get paid millions to pretend that they're Ronaldo on a computer game. Or on the next UFC, they're pretending to be Mason Jones on a UFC game. You're not Mason Jones. Mason Jones is an athlete that is doing it for real. He's a sports person, an elite sports person. You play a computer game. That's like saying someone that plays Call of Duty is a soldier. You're not. You're pretending to be one. He didn't get that.
He did die like 100 times a game. Do you know what
I mean? he didn't get it, and he was like, they're even thinking about putting esports in the Olympics. And I was like, and then he said, like, that's like saying netball and something else. I can't remember the sports though. It was netball and something else that is generally a sport. He was like, it's like saying that they're sports. I was like, well, they are fucking sports. Playing a computer game isn't a sport. Yes, you get paid well for it if you're good at it. Crack on. But don't be coming at me saying that they're fucking athletes and shit like that.
The only thing I would say on that, because obviously I understand how like it is the modern era, and I do sort of agree with some of the stuff he's saying. What I would say is, if you go into that, it can't ever be in the Olympics, because how do you put esports in the Olympics? Because which games are you going to put in? Is there certain games? Like, why are those games different to other games?
Track
like,
and field,
rally games are you going to put in? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, but like if they do like a shoot up, I don't know, a shoot up, a strategy game or something else, like which shoot up are you going to put in? There's like hundreds of them. When there's new ones out, you just keep changing it every year.
That was one of the things that I said.
Do?
I said, like, you're playing a game and you're good at it, sure. But putting that into the Olympics, you might as well put chess and checkers in there. But yeah, I was like, I was not having it. I was not having that one. Not having it. So you're pretending to be Ronaldo. You're not Ronaldo.
Wow, I almost lost you.
Fucking almost lost it,
man.
Show me a cock.
Mate, have you seen how good this connection is now? It took us an hour, but now it's firing away. Now, do you know what I mean? No delay.
What's that about?
My Wi-Fi must have picked back up, I think.
Yeah, it is, mate. It is. It's only taken an hour. It's mad, isn't it?
Have you been on an hour? How long have we been on?
We have been on
hour and a half.
Hour and a half. It's not bad. It's not bad. But fair, mate, it's weird because, like, sometimes I can have a conversation with, like, say yourself or Darren. Darren's the worst. So if I do a podcast with Darren, it's the connection is shit, and he always goes, "It's your connection, that." It fucking isn't.
Oh no, this was definitely my connection. I told you that. It was definitely mine.
Yeah, but that's what I said. I said to him, fucking definitely isn't my connection, Darren William. And he's like, it is. I was like, well, it's not, because I spoke to someone in fucking America and it was golden.
Perfect. Yeah.
I speak to you in Hereford, it's like you're in the third world. With Ebola and fucking
and then for his water, yeah. Well, that's the disease I get vaccinated for. If there was an Ebola epidemic, I'd be first in line to get a vaccine.
That disappeared quick though, didn't it?
I know, 60% kill rate. It's because it's Africa, and then obviously
it's because they
just let people out. They just shut them off. And like that's the thing, is like you don't see a lot of that happens. Like obviously Pfizer, this is a good one. I try not to stay away from political discussions, and unfortunately, COVID vaccines are political discussions. But Pfizer they've actually been charged twice with war crimes for testing vaccinations on kids in Africa.
Oh,
yeah. So people forget about that. Do you know what I mean?
They do, mate. They fucking gloss over so much. It's horrible. Like we'll go back to the fucking program I watched, the Dope Sick stuff, and it's like they were more concerned about making $1 billion profit than they were the fact that they just killed 400,000
hundreds
Americans
and ruined so many lives.
Yeah.
Like more than the deaths, they're ruining lives.
Yeah, there was one of the main characters in it is a doctor, and he basically loses his fucking doctor's license because he gets in a car accident, breaks his ribs, and they subscribe him his OxyContin.
Oxycontin.
Yeah, and he's like, I don't really want that. Is there anything else? And they're like, no, this is the best thing you can have. And then he gets fucking addicted to it. And he fucking loses his license. It's like, you're ruining lives. You don't give a shit because you've got your fucking mansion, your fucking dollar bills. Money makes the world go round, mate.
Always the bottom line.
Makes the world go round. It does indeed.
Always bottom line. Still got to remember, mate, the sex trade's one of the biggest trades in the world. Still, considering they can track man from the other end of the planet, and they can blow a guy up in a cave. But yet the sex trade's still rife. And the reason that is because it makes so much money.
Yeah. It's dirty.
The Epstein thing.
Yeah.
So the Epstein story. That's a brilliant documentary if you get to watch that.
Yeah. Filthy rich.
Like filthy rich.
It's dirty. It's horrible.
Money makes the world go round.
It is, mate. It is sickening. It is sickening. It's a bit like it's loads of little things as well that sort of it makes you think, what the fuck? Like, for example, we'll take Jimmy Savile, for example, or should we say Sir Jimmy Savile? They fucking knighted him. Like, he was an uber pedo. He's horrible. And then even now,
the only thing I never understood about that was like why didn't like how not so much why, but how could they get away with it for so long and be buried for so long, and that the fact they didn't allow it to come out until the day he died, and it was just you know,
he's one of those, though, isn't it? You look at him, and you go, "You're definitely a non."
He looks like one.
Oh, and there's so many things, like even down to the what's his fucking name? The bloke that does all the Jimmy Through. No, not Jimmy Through. Louis Through. He does loads of documentaries, and he did two on he did two on Jimmy Savile, and like both of them, you're like watching it, and you're like, he is disgusting. He's a horrible human being. But then you fast forward now to like this set of knighthoods, and you got fucking Tony Blair getting one. Like, that man is literally a war criminal. He sent us to war with Iraq.
I miss it. So my missus law class, they actually listened to a speech by Tony Blair, and she literally said after it, she said, like, for someone who managed to convince a population to go to war, and like did the things he did, he's a very boring person to listen to. Like, he wasn't inspiring. Like, you expect someone to be able to get the pipe out, do you know what I mean, and start playing and be able to go to dance to his tune, do you know what I mean? But he was really boring.
He's boring. He's a fucking dickhead. But yeah, he sent.
So then you go, why did it happen?
Yeah, all money, mate. All fucking
money.
But I didn't realise until I was chatting to one of me pals down the pub. There's like a I don't know if it's a written rule or an unwritten rule, but apparently all fucking prime ministers will end up being knighted at some point, no matter how shit they are. It's like, like fucking Boris now with his fucking cheese and wine. At some point,
Big B,
mate.
Fucking B. I like Big B. Just, do you mean like you wouldn't trust him to run a pub, would you?
No, mate. What I want to be is a fly on the wall when he has to go and visit the Queen whenever they're allowed to. I don't know if he's been since. And he has to stand there and apologise for the fact that none of her family could go and see Prince Philip be fucking buried or cremated or whatever he was at his funeral. You've got to say that to the Queen. Not to mention, like,
while he's smashing cocktails in a party.
Yeah. Not to mention the thousands and possibly millions of people that lost loved ones over this pandemic because you're having your fucking cheese and wine, and all you did was say sorry. It's like sometimes that's
no.
not good enough.
First of all, he said he couldn't remember it. He couldn't remember that happening.
That's
but
probably because
he
he's fucking hungover.
Money.
The best thing I saw was when he was doing his first apology, and he was saying, he was like, "Mr. Speaker, I just want to apologize." And then it sort of cuts, and then you hear someone in the back. So obviously they've got mics everywhere, haven't they? And you hear him go, "Wanker." It's like he didn't even disguise it with the fucking cough properly. He just went, "Wanker."
It's funny as fuck, man.
But he literally is a walking meme, isn't he? He's a fucking...
I like Boris. I do. He's funny as fuck.
I did like him. I did like him up until like...
Well, you remember mine, all he is a figurehead. Like, this is the thing I always say. Like, they don't do anything. They don't have any power to do things. Like, I understand people will say, like, they do and they will. It's like, no one's... Like, they are and they do. But it's the people in the background who want to really
it's
the one who's got the leverage and
mate.
the money.
Like, we'll use Rogan. As Rogan's always said, it's a popularity contest.
Yeah.
And you notice that they'll make all these fucking promises and then they get into power and then
nothing ever happens.
They don't, because they've got all those fucking...
Look at Theresa May. Theresa May, one of her sort of fundamental issues into it, they was going to legalize weed. And then all of a sudden, then she did a complete U-turn on it, and no one understood why. And then they was like, "Oh, right, that's why. Your husband's a 20% shareholder in the medicinal plant in Manchester, which is the biggest in the world, medicinal grow in the world. Medicinal.
Well, I'll use that one for you. Medicinal. I could say that one.
Medicinal.
Most of the time, my face stops working with big words, and I can't do it.
I just get stuck. I got stuck on Nagano during the watch party. It was like 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the morning, and I got stuck on Nagano, and people were commenting saying, "Wonder where he's going with that." And I was like, "You bastards!" I was like, "Fucking hell."
What do you make of Ngannou's fight with the fucking big French bloke?
Mate, he surprised me doing what he did. It surprised me. It's very, very good. Like, I understand it was boring. Like, I want to see him tee off and just knock each other out.
Yeah.
But like, at the end of the day, Nagano for him is more not just about winning the fight and getting paid and staying champion. Is the fact that he gets the power to change things up. Now he got the power in his hands. Do you know what I mean? But so to go out and win the way he did. What I will say though is, if Gan had been a bit more experienced, Gan would have won. Only because he would have won the fight if he hadn't dropped that leg. Well, I say that, but two of the rest scored it 4-1 against Gan rounds. And one of them had it 2-3, which is why I had it. I had 2-3, and I think that Gan would have won the round if he hadn't dropped that heel hook and if he'd stayed in top position and maintained top. But then I say that Nagano did a beautiful butterfly sweep, which is something I blew my mind. Do a butterfly sweep from bottom in no-gi like that. Unbelievable. So yeah, like, he did a lot of things really well. Did you see Said Nurmagomedov's finish as well?
I didn't, mate. I was going to work, and it was
I was obviously awake.
I got into my office and put it on, and it was second round, I think, of the Ngannou fight, so I missed most of it. But I was impressed. I was like, I know a lot of people. You could call them armchair.
I remember, like, a lot of...
You could call them whatever.
Yeah, a lot of people...
They're like, oh, he's a heavyweight.
Appreciate it unless it's a brawl, like... Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, sometimes at the elite level, you're not going to get that.
You just got to win.
And that's what he did.
Figueiredo and Moreno. I was unfortunately really impressed by Figueiredo because I didn't want Moreno to win. But he did exactly what he needed to. He literally had a good game plan going in there, and he stuck to his game plan, and he just outmaneuvered Moreno. And I understand it was close, and it was very, very close. But flyweights is usually, I guess, either a finish or it's going to be a very close decision because they've both got that speed and that power. But I do believe Figueiredo won. It was close, mostly due to the calf kicks. He swept the legs with the calf kicks 3 or 4 times and put him down. And obviously they are drops, like whether he wants or not. Like he's dropping in with calf kicks.
Yeah. It's like if it was if it was boxing and you got dropped, you dropped, didn't you? It's a fucking 10-8 round.
Yeah.
So, but that's the strange thing with MMA is the scoring. It's like it's a tricky one, isn't it? Because sometimes they still is it the judges that are like fucking boxing judges or whatever, and it's like you guys.
Mate, I ain't gonna comment on judges. Comment on judges.
Yeah, we're fucking. Yeah. Why couldn't they get ex pros to do it?
They do get some good referees. To be fair, it's just the thing with the MMA. I don't know about boxing, but with MMA is different states have different rules on scoring criteria and different things, and different states are more likely to score different things differently, and you sort of try things. Like it's changing all the time, and the way we score things is changing all the time. And you get these decisions that slip through the cracks, and they do go, and it just is what it is. One of things, and we always say the same thing: if you leave it up to the judges, then you are putting it in the hands of basically what are gods. Do you know what I mean? Like they can go whichever way they fancy because people see what they want to see.
Yeah. And then obviously people see things differently, don't they? Like you just said. It's like
What I will say, for people at home, cage side, it looks completely different sometimes to how it is looking on the TV. Because I've had fights, even in the arenas, I've had fights where they've looked a lot closer than you watch them on the TV screen, and they look on the TV. Mainly because like when you're out there, you're looking from a distance, like you see punches that are coming at you and different things, and like you see the defense and stuff. Whereas when you're watching from the side, you can't really see them so much. So when you get a good camera view, and you actually see from that distance, it makes a hell of a difference. Makes a hell of a difference.
Yeah, and I think they've said it on a few of the other MMA sort of podcasts that I've listened to and whatnot. They think that the judges should be, like you said, in a different room, you might say, watching it
during COVID, especially because like I still am adamant that my fight would have been different if the commentary was there. My debut against Mike. Yeah. I'm adamant on that because the commentary did 100% sway certain decisions. But again, is that correct or is it not? Who knows?
Well, I know because I watched it.
It is what it is.
But yeah, it's like stick them in a room with like no crowd sounds, no commentary, so they're literally watching it. That's whatever. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I'm not paid enough for that.
No, exactly.
I'm not even in my lane there. I've gone out of fucking security work, out of the podcast world, and I'm now a fucking pro judge referee MMA fighter. So.
Mate, everyone's a fucking critic.
They are, mate. They are. Oh, most of them have never been in a fight in their lives. In their fucking lives. Fucking madness. But anyway, Mace, I'm going to take up any more of your fucking night because it's 20 to fucking 10.
I'm fucking tired, so I do apologize.
No.
I obviously appreciate always having me on. And again, we do need to do this in person so we can have a proper bounce and chat. But yeah, mate, I really enjoyed this and glad to see you well and the family's well. Obviously, I'm not really shouting sponsors or anything. I've done this enough times. I'm not in the mood today, but you know what it is.
I will. So this one here. Oh, yeah.
Kent's DVD.
Yeah. That's my actual sponsor. An actual one. Winning. Nah, Kent CBD are brilliant, mate.
So I'll do this one for you. So anyone who is looking to sponsor the show, please get in touch. Obviously, I know Sean is always looking for sponsors to help support the show and take the show to the next level. So help the man out, get the man doing this full time, and yeah, thanks for watching.
My man, Mason the Dragon Jones is coming back for his title of Guest of the Year. I got a feeling he might get it.
Fingers crossed. One of these in a couple of months anyway. We'll have to do it more than once a year this time, so we'll have to get another one on.
Mate, definitely.
Thank you.
Always welcome. Always welcome.
Always.
I'm glad I sent you that.
All you gotta do is that. All you gotta
That's
do is
right.
ask.
I've got Mason Jones's phone number, so in your fucking faces. Nah, Mace, genuinely, always an honour and always a privilege to have you on. You're a fucking gentleman.
Appreciate it. Thank you, mate. Have a good night. Give you best to my family.
Enjoy.
Thanks. Bye.